28-year-old Catherine Akers apparently changed the locks on her family's Silver Spring home while the others were away for the weekend, according to investigators. Court records say that when her father got home at 2 a.m. Saturday, he called police. The documents say the father and a responding officer saw Akers inside and saw the lights go out. Akers' father decided to sleep in his car outside. By 9 a.m., Akers refused to answer the door, and her father called a locksmith. The documents go on to read that when he finally got in the house, he found blood and called police to return. Officers found blood on the floor, all the knives out, and a pair of salon scissors in the hallway. They found Akers injured and her 3-year-old child apparently hidden under a blanket near death. Both mother and child had lacerations to their necks.
But for the intervention of the grandfather of this child and the police officers who gave emergency medical attention, this child would have died.
Prosecutor John McCarthy is moving forward with charges of attempted second-degree murder, child abuse, and reckless endangerment. But he said a judge's decision today to seek a mental health evaluation first is, quote, totally appropriate. Akers will stay in jail until that mental health evaluation is completed. She'll get a bail hearing on April 8th. Scott Broom, WUSA 9.